Good morning, everyone. In our previous session, what we have seen, we have seen HSI model. We have started with it or what? We have seen till this. Um, we have seen this one, right? We have seen this one also. This one also. This also. From here it's remaining, right? The HSI color model. Okay. Fine. I hope I'm audible and my screen is visible to you guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Yes.
we have what is the HSI color model first. That's here the combination of U and saturation that we can extract as one part as the we can say the chromaticity, and another level that is what the brightness that we can say as an intensity. So intensity plus U plus saturation that will make one pixel description. Okay. So we have seen this how we can represent this cube from the different perspective, and we have seen that we need to take with reference to red. We are considering the theta. Theta means angle from red reference, red as the axis level. From that reference where your point located is, that is what your theta. And the saturation means length of the vector from white color to whatever the pixel you want to measure, right? That is what U and saturation. And intensity will be calculated based on all these three plane R plus G plus B divided by 3. That is what intensity, overall intensity, right? All the colors, I mean all the primary colors, they are separated at 120 degree, right? And from primary to secondary color distance would be 60 degree, right? This is how the colors are located. They are the primary colors and the secondary colors. Okay. Then from here we need to see, right, what actually is the HSI color model and how we can represent it. I mean, whatever we have seen, that is all about the HSI color model only. This is what the continuation. Here they are saying that you can represent this HSI model in any shape. Generally, we have referred that is what the hexagon, but you can even represent that with the circle, you can even represent it with the triangle, right? Representation of the shape, that could be anything. Main thing is U saturation, that's it. So here, because the only important thing are the angle and the length of saturation vector, this plane is often represented as circle or a triangle. So here you can see red axis, that is what our main reference axis. From there, whatever the angle they are making, that is your U. Whatever is the vector length from your white point to that particular color, that is known as saturation. Same way for the circle, same way for the triangle, red would be your reference. Okay. So this is what U and saturation and HSI color model. Dot is any arbitrarily color point. The angle from the red axis, that will give you the U, and the length of vector will give you saturation. The intensity of all colors in any of this plane, that is given by the position of the plane, and the vertical axis, that is for your intensity. You have to remember all horizontal planes, whatever is the perpendicular to your intensity, right? Vertical would be your intensity, all the other planes are your RGB, that is as horizontal. So if you will go up and up at any point, you can see that intensity is very high. Okay. And if you are at the middle or at down level, it means that your intensity is low. I have given you the example like what the baby pink. If I'll say that baby pink means the pink color intensity is less. If I'm saying the dark pink color, so dark pink means what? The brightness is very high, intensity is very high, right? In that way. So you can see this image now. Here this is what we have represented your all the colors again. Here is your red color, here it is black and white, black and the white on the top. This is the green color at the another end and this is blue. You can check this, right? Triangle red, blue and green. So the same is here, red, green and blue. Red, blue and green. Green would be at the back side of your cube. So here, if we are taking any point, right, then intensity at this level would be suppose 0.5. Okay, intensity over here, that is 0.5. When we will go up, vertical axis always represent your intensity. So if we will go on the top, you can check here intensity at some point over here if we have measured, that is 0.70. Right? So what you understand? On vertical axis will go high, intensity will be high. Okay. Here you can check if any of the arbitrary point I am taking over here, right? Then I need to measure the U. So that is what, whatever the angle they will make, that is your H. Okay. And distance from this point, that is what your white color, from this to this point, that is your saturation. Simple. The same way we have represented this thing with the circular manner, with the circle. If you will have any of the arbitrary point over here near to that green color, red to that particular point, you can measure this, that is your H, U, that is what angle. And the actual distance from that center point to that color, that is what the length of that vector, that is your saturation. Fine. Only we have shown you this thing with the triangle shape and the circle shape, right? The thing is the same. They've just taken the different points here, arbitrarily points. In the first figure, we have seen the arbitrary point is over here, right? So that is what the angle from this red, this is H. Now the second time they have taken the point over here somewhere. Third time they have taken the point somewhere over here, right? So yes or no, I mean, I'm just seeing the blank faces. Is it that much difficult? No? Okay. Now, how you are converting the colors, that is from RGB to HSI. Because you have any of the device, they are using RGB. You want to convert it into the HSI model for the human perspective, right? So how you can convert, this is what the formula. The very first one, that is for U. U is all about the angle. So we are keeping the angle theta if the blue color is less than the green. Means we are just taking one circle. We are just considering one of the circle. If due to this theta formula, whatever it is, if the circle is going beyond that, right, then again we have to do what? 360 minus theta. It is very similar to, I'll simply give you one of the examples. If I'm calculating minutes somewhere, I'll be having the minutes like 127 minutes. So what I need to do, I need to convert into a normalized form. So what I'll do, if the minutes are greater than 60, I'll add into R and the remaining are my minutes. Say yes or no. Right? So the same thing you are doing. If it is going beyond to this 360 degree, again you have to normalize it via 360 minus theta. Simple. Are you getting? So how you are calculating this theta? Theta, how you will actually calculate? If the arbitrary point is somewhere, we are saying that this is what the theta. But how you will consider that theta? This formula is directly given, no description, not a single line description. So you have to accept this formula, right? So how you can find theta? It's cos inverse 1 by 2 R minus G. So red color plane, whatever the intensity would be there, red minus green plus red minus blue divide by red minus green square plus r minus b, g minus b, and that whole raised to 1 by 2 means that would be under root. Okay, this is what the formula how to consider theta. So your u is directly theta. That's it. But you need to consider whether the u value is greater than g. Then you need to consider 360 minus theta. Again, you will normalize it. Then saturation component, how you can consider? Saturation equals to 1 minus 3 divided by r plus g plus b. And you are considering minimum of rg and b. You just need to multiply that value with this. Okay, so this is what saturation. Here all the RGB values, they are normalized value in the range of 0 to 1 only. If even you will see this into here into this MATLAB, then also the values of RGB would be between 0 to 1 only, right? So if we will change 0.004 something, then some of the color will be there and so on. Okay, so this is what the normalized value. And intensity is what? Intensity is what actually? Whatever is intensity of R plus intensity of G plus intensity of B, that divided by 3. So if you will imagine just into that watercolor, whatever you are doing. So how much amount of red you are taking, how much amount of green you are taking, and blue you are taking. Once it will be mixture this three color, whatever the color is generated, that is what intensity of that particular pixel. Simple. Okay. So here these RGB values that have been normalized to the range 0 to 1. Angle is measured with respect to red axis only, and U can be normalized to again range between 0 to 1 by dividing it 360 degrees. So this is what we are doing, right? Because we have divided minutes into 60. Who said that? So that is what the standard. No, degrees are from 0 to 360 only. If you will say 420 degree, so you have to convert again into the normalized form, that it's 360 minus, or you can say 420 minus 360. So that degree only you are considering, right? Then there is one of the topic which is converting colors from HSI to RGB. First we have seen RGB to HSI. Maybe there would be the interest that you can even convert the colors from HSI to RGB. Fine. But this topic again include another 11 to 12 formulas. I'll directly show you the formulas, right? I really don't mind to show you that. But that is with the less interest, we can say. Yeah, that would be the main thing for manipulation of the colors, which is the very next topic. Manipulating this HSI component images. How you can manipulate with the colors, right? So if you wish, I'll put the formulas here. Based on those formulas only, we are calculating how to manipulate HSI component image. I'll show you one of the things. This is what the RGB model, and after that we have seen this all the things, right? This is what we have covered. This is what we have seen just now. After these three formulas, after these four formulas, this is what the second one. Cost would be, yeah, that is for the CM by CIK model. Fine. Leave it. After this, see, this is what another formula when you are converting colors from HSI to RGB. Again, you have formula. See, there is no description for that, how this is done, right? Directly, they are giving the formula. That is converting from RGB to HSI. This is the formula that you need to remember. So same way, if you are converting from HSI to RGB, you have this many formula. B equals to this, R equals to this, G equals to this. Then you are calculating U. Then you are calculating this again RGB components based on that HSI model. That is like this. Again, if your H is minus 240 degree, because you are considering actually BR sector, that is from 240 degree to 360 degree. Here you have considered the sector that is GB sector, means green and blue sector, red and blue sector. So if it is between the green and blue sector, means 120 degree to this 240 degree. If we are considering RG sector, means red and green only we are considering. So that would be between 0 to 120 degree only. Then the rest of degrees only, and then again the rest of. These three sectors we have considered, and we have the formulas. So if you wish to remember, you can. I really don't mind. And based on this formulas, I mean, you can see these numbers like 6 to 15, 14, 13, 11. It will start from the fifth one, right? Fifth formula. Now we'll go to HSI, manipulating HSI component. Manipulation, I'm just showing you this figure because this is what the RGB image, and here we are just considering hue, saturation and intensity of this color, right? Once we are converting into grayscale and then we are doing the manipulation. But actual another figure is this, where we have applied manipulation, and this manipulation we have done through, you can see over here, from equation 5 through 50. Have you seen this? Okay, yes or no? So based on that, you are doing this manipulation. So this is what the flipped classroom topic, because here nothing you need to read much, right? Only few lines over here how they have done this based on those formula. Based on those formula, they have calculated what is this sector, what is this sector, what is this sector. They are applying, they are simply calculating H, S and I, right? Hue, saturation and the intensity. Based on that, whatever the color is there, they are showing you this color. Actually, when you will issue this book, no, this is what the colorful book for the 6th unit only. For the 6th unit, all the pages are the color pages. They are not this grayscale, right? So you can issue the book, you can check this. So they will show you here the different colors. Okay. Right. So this is what I have shortened this topic, that is converting colors from HSI to RGB. So how they are calculating, I mean, this HSI values corresponding to the image of RGB color cube, right? RGB color cube, you can understand, we have to take the reference of red axis. Where is the red color in this cube? Here, right? So here they will take one of the reference, this line, axis from this point to this white color point. So they have taken this axis and they are considering what would be the red color. So for the red color, degree would be 0. Very obvious, degree would be 0. If 0 degree would be there, according to that, we are considering this as the black color, because your hue is at 0 degree. Now, if whatever the color, I mean, if it is yellow color with reference to red color, so they can convert it into another gray color, I mean, dark gray, light gray, white color, and so on, right? But you need to take the reference of red color axis only. So if, again, you can check over here, yellow is almost here, right? So if any of the pixel that is with the yellow color, then what would be the degree from this? Based on that, it will calculate the color, right? So you can even check this one. Do you remember this one? Okay. So according to this, they will give some colors, right? So no need to think that much. This is just for the understanding why this color is, right? Otherwise, you cannot write this thing into the paper, right? That the color was red and now it is this color, dark gray. How you will draw it, right? So you just need to remember you have to worry about the formulas and all, which you can write down. This is just for understanding that how this figure comes. So this first one, that is your U. This one is for saturation. This one is for intensity. Intensity always will take the average. That's what we have seen, R plus G plus green, blue divided by 3. So that will take the average. Average will have the same color. They will have the same color. Here in the saturation, again they will calculate based on this formula. Saturation is 1 minus this divided by RGB and minimum of this value and so on, right? So when you are going near to this origin, right, it will do 1 minus something, means they are near to the black color. And out of that color, they are having almost, similar kind of thing. Once it will go from origin to somewhere else. Right. This is just the description of why you are getting this image. U, saturation and intensity. First image is for U. HSI component of image. Image A is U, second is saturation and third one is intensity values. Right. Next one, that what I have already explained, that is what manipulating HSI component image. We are doing the manipulation, and for that you need to read how you are converting from HSI to RGB. Those are all the formulas. Based on those formulas, you will get something. But this figure particularly, you are getting based on the first three formulas only: U, saturation and intensity. Means this one, U, saturation and intensity. So what I am saying, U is what? That is theta. This theta is with the comparison with the reference of red line. So now you can imagine, here I am having the red color. Here I am having the red color. If I am finding U for this image, this is for U, this is for saturation, this is for intensity. If I am finding the U of this, then with reference of red color, red axis, that would be theta equals to 0, right? If it is near to 0, it will take the color whatever is there with the background, means the black color, right? So here for this purpose, this red color is converted into black. So I can only explain you the theta with reference to that red color. Now if it is going towards to the yellow, then it's taking some another color like this, dark gray. When it will comes over this degree, means the degree, if that would be near to 360 around, then it will going towards the white color. So here it will start from the dark color, dark to lighter gray, lighter to again lighter, lighter, light, and finally here it will be black color at the middle. Right? So this is how, this is what about the U. The saturation, again, that would be based on totally the formula, right? So I cannot explain you how they have find this kind of saturation. This explanation even have not given, right? So you can imagine for the saturation, this all the colors are the pure colors. They are not the mixture of that. They are the pure colors. Pure colors means they have considered it as a white. And this is your white color. Opposite to that, they have given the black color. Because you can see, saturation is 1 minus something. So it will do opposite of that. right? 1 minus something. So if 1 minus, you are having their color 1. So 1 minus 1 becomes 0. So 0 means the black color. So at the middle, you are getting here black color. And for this colors, you are having the white color. Fine. And this is what intensity. Intensity means they will consider average of the color. So R, G and B, they are main the primary colors. For this primary colors, whatever intensity will be there, they will be same for these three colors, three primary. Red, green and blue. Whatever intensity would be there, that you have replaced at every place, wherever there is R, G and B. Now you are considering average of this, that is for your secondary color, cyan, yellow and this magenta. So they have the same color. And for this white, it is same. That is as it is. Right? So maybe this could be the thing. Okay? You can read the description. It's not exactly easy. Now after this, whatever the manipulations you are applying, that is based on those all formulas. So that would be another figure, that what I said, no, I'm not including over here. That is this one. Okay, so you can read it by your own, whatever you are getting, that is fine. Then the next topic directly, that is pseudo color image processing. So what is the pseudo color? You can understand this thing that suppose you have grayscale image, right? This grayscale image, you want to make it as the colorful image. So what you will do, you have intensity of this grayscale. Intensity would vary between 0 to 255. Now you are saying that this is very similar to your thresholding. If you are dividing that, okay, from this cut 0 to 127, that would be one color. And from this 127 to 255, there could be another color. Okay, so this is what intensity slicing you have done. The same intensity slicing or density slicing, that will come into the color image. In the color image also, you are simply slicing it, but instead of black and white, you are giving the colors. You are saying if the intensity is 0 to 127, I want red color. From 127 to 255, you want blue color. So your image is now the colorful, that is known as two color image, right? Or you can even have multicolor image, right? You are slicing your intensities. You are just dividing your intensity. If the intensity is between 0 to 10, you want red color. From 10 to 25, C2 color. From 25 to another color, C3, C4, C5, C6, so on. How many number of colors you want, you can. Are you getting? But generally that is not the useful one, no? I mean, more number of colors. You can give the range. That if this to this, then one of the color. Are you getting what I'm saying is about this pseudo color image processing? Say yes or no at least. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So the pseudo color image processing means the false color, because there is no color but you are giving the color, right? That is why it is a false color. Whatever the color you want, object is not having that color, but whatever you want, you are feeling that color, right? The pseudo color image processing consists of assigning colors to gray values based on a specified criteria. The principal use of pseudo color is human visualization, because you are not addicted or habituated to see the grayscale images. Whatever we are having, our world is also the colorful, right? So we cannot see the particular thing only in the black and white color. Otherwise, we haven't invented that color TV. We are still watching that black and white TV. But we are habituated to see the colors, right? So we are converting even grayscale to the color image. So that is just for the human visualization and interpretation of the grayscale events. Because many of the time gray colors, they would be having intensity that is very near to that. I mean dark gray, somehow less dark gray again. So that shades are very similar to see, to watch. So you cannot identify, okay, here is the problem in the image, here is the problem in the image. The best example I'll show you this one. So this is what the monochrome image, that is what the black and white, or you can say grayscale image, which is void of color. Now here by just watching the first figure, what you can say, this is what the image of the thyroid center, one of the thyroid, you can say that cells they have taken, and they are inspecting into it, that what is the problem and where is the problem. So can you see anything by just looking at the first figure? No, right? All the values and everything you can see that is very similar. So now what I have done is intensity slicing. If the intensity values are between 0 to suppose 50, then one of the color is assigned. So that is what the blue color. Because here the outer line, you can check. This is what the outer line, no? This, that we can find it as just similar to the background black color. But that is maybe with the intensity 2 or 3, which is very near to the black color, I mean darkest gray color. Say yes or no, right? But we cannot visualize actually difference between intensity 0 and intensity 2 or 3. But if there is a change, then we need to assign one of the color. So that color we have assigned, that is blue. Now you can check, okay, the whole image. Have you seen this? Image is fully covered like this. Now you can see. Same way, if the intensity is something from this to this, then you are assigning color yellow, then red, then white, and so on, green and all, right? Now you can consider where the problem is. So for this purpose only we are doing intensity slicing. The principal motivation for using these colors is human can distinguish thousands of the color shades and intensities. So compared to only 2 dozens of grayscale image, better to watch the color images. So this is what the first intensity slicing, or you can say density slicing. What we are doing in this is what our plane, this is what your particular x and y. At that coordinate x and y, you have one intensity value. So intensity is represented by the vertical plane. Okay, vertical axis is your intensity, and this horizontal, this and this, you can say this is your x and y. Okay. Now, if we are simply cutting, we are simply slicing from one of the intensity, that is known as Li. Suppose I have a cut at 127. So Li equals to 127. Simple. From 127, I have sliced that plane. So now I am saying that below that slicing, the color is this, and above that slicing, the color is this. That is represented into the second figure, this one. From 0 to Li means this, right? That plane will have the color C1. And if above that you have till this L minus 1, the color C2. So this is what your two color image, only C1 or C2. So this is very similar to your thresholding. But over there you have color black and white. Here you have any of the color, R1, R2, I mean from that RGB or whatever the color you want. Simple. So how it can be represented? Your f of xy will give you intensity, right? F of xy equals to Ck, any of the color, C1, C2, C3, C4. If your f of xy belongs to this Vk, Vk is what? It is nothing but the vector. vector which is representing the values of intensity set. I am saying that, suppose this is not your 2 color, this is your 5 to 7 color image, 7 color slicing. I am saying that from color 1 or sorry, intensity 1 to 50, right? I want color C1. So the intensity set 1 to 50, that is your V1, right? So if your intensity is between 0 to 49, then the color would be C1. Okay, so V1 is a set of intensities, V2 is another set of intensities from 50 to, suppose you can say 75. So V2 is 50 to 75. So which color you want to give? C2, another color. Then 76 to 100, another color. Fine? So I hope you are getting. Yes or no? So you need to check your intensity, because f of xy will always give you intensity. If we'll talk about in the way of the MATLAB, if I'm saying f of 1, 1, so what you mean? First row, first column, whatever the intensity is there, that it will simply return. So your f of xy equals to, now whatever is the intensity over there, you are assigning that color intensity. Okay. So now you are saying that would be with the red color or it would be with the green color. Red or green. You have just divided. Are you getting? Yes or no? It's very easy. I mean, this is what I'm explaining, just thresholding. It's very similar to that. But here we have the colors. You guys are sleeping? Not responding means what? Hello? See, everybody is sleeping. Yeah, okay. And here this figure, that is given for multiple slicing. So how you can do multiple slicing? One of the slice you will do that I have given as a reference. That is my first LK. That is my LK. Now again another slicing below that, that will give you LK minus 1, LK minus 2, above that LK plus 1, LK plus 2, so on. Right? So this is what you are slicing. Or you can even slice at the first, that is your L0, second cut, L1, third one, L2 and so on. Okay? So this is just showing you how you are assigning. I mean, if the colors are between LK minus 1 to LK, if intensities are between that, it includes into this VK set, then you are assigning the color CK, C1. If intensity values between Vk to Vk plus 1, suppose 51 to 75, so you are assigning the color C2 and so on. Simple? Clear this thing? I hope you have written this, you have drawn this figure. If not, please do it. Very quickly, giving you 2 minutes. Lazy people. See, this is most time, yeah? And in your mid syllabus 4, 5, 6. Previously it was 1 to 3. Now it is 4, 5, 6. Okay, fine. So this is what we have seen. The another application, this one. You can see this, the all the, you can see the different satellite images. They are the grayscale images. They are the grayscale images. After this grayscale images, we are converting it into the color images, right? So here, use of the color to highlight the rainfall levels. In one of the region, they have calculated whatever the rainfall is there into the inches, right? And based on those inches, they have given one of the color. That if the rain of inches that is greater than 20 means you can say the heavy rainfall, right? So that will be represented with the red color, danger. Okay. So based on that, they have done this color coding, right? And they are showing you this region. This is what you have seen in news and all, right? So they are using this intensity slicing. In the gray level, from this intensity to this, the color is this, right? So we have this multiple colors: blue, green, dark green, and so. So this is used for the forest and all, right? Green. So here is the red. Then they have zoomed this. They are just showing you this focus via the zooming, and you can see the red color over here. It means the heavy rain. Right? When satellite is there, TRMM, right? That is for the tropical rainfall measuring mission. For that purpose only, for the atmospheric change, whatever the atmosphere related captures they are doing for this rainfall and all, that satellite, via that we are having this gray image. And through that we are converting into the color image. Okay. So this is one of the application. Here this figure A is the grayscale image in which intensity in the lighter horizontal band, right? This corresponds to the average monthly rainfall. The second image is color assigned to those intensity values. C is the color coded image, this one, and the D is zoom of the South America region. Okay. This is one of the applications. Now, we can convert this gray level to this color transformation. How we can do this task? How we can do this task? And where it is required, again, because on the color monitor you want one color which is generated by red, green and blue plane, right? Red, green and blue plane, one of the color will be generated onto the screen. So you have to give this f of xy for the processing to this red transformation, green transformation, blue transformation. And based on the criteria, it will generate the color. Okay. So that final output would be your fr of xy, fg of xy, fb of xy. That is red, green and blue component respectively. So the basic concept of this gray level to this color transformation, that is performing 3 independent transformation on the gray level of any input pixel. Means I am not giving the color that the C1 color is this, C2 color is this. I am not giving the color, but instead of that I am giving the value for R, G and B. This RGB will be together and it will generate one color. This kind of applications we are using. Suppose, I mean, this example is the longer one. Maybe we won't be able to finish, but this is what the image of the X-ray scan of your luggage. Whenever you just went to the airport, right, simply your luggage will be into the scan. If they will found any kind of explosive or any kind of suspect that this could be the explosive, then they will ask you to open your luggage, right? So here, this is what the baggage inside this explosive is there. So how you are doing such kind of color coding, that it will show you the different color. If the different color is there, it means the suspect is there. Then they will zoom that area and they will watch again, they will click the photos. If they are still having the doubt, they will ask you simply to open your luggage. Right? Otherwise, physical verification won't be there. They will simply detect this thing via this color code. Okay. So you can even imagine if you have only the colors baggage, I mean, right, that frequency would be something, the another one. If metal kind of thing would be there, then the frequency will get automatically change into this. So whenever there would be a steady frequency, there is no problem. If another object is there, the frequency will get all of a sudden the change. Right? So based on that also they can calculate something, right? And they can give the color coding. So here if they have given the color code, they are finding here is explosive. Okay. But we will see this into the next lecture. Fine. That's all for today. You can write down your numbers in sequence. Number 1, Nancy. Number 2, Rahil. Please write down in sequence only. Huh? Done? Okay. Your numbers? Sorry. Done? 9. Anyone else? Fine, you may leave the session.